I'm Myochi.
And I am Renee, and welcome to the 40 Spot, where we talk about the highs and the lows and everything in between that has to do with your 40s. So please like, comment, subscribe. If you're following us on YouTube, hit that notification bell so you know every time that we go live. Also, you can always email us at the40spot@gmail.com. Thank you for coming back. And if you're new, welcome, welcome, welcome.
On this week's episode, we will discuss the good and the bad about the holidays and reveal our best and worst Christmas. But
Ooh.
first, we are going to get into our While We Were Out segment. This is where we discuss news, entertainment, and personal experiences that have occurred since our last show.
Mm.
Earth Child.
Oh, it's so much stuff has happened. It's just it's never ending.
Child is not. But I want to start on a happy one.
Okay,
We have
great.
finally seen our baby.
Who's our baby?
Our baby, Rihanna. We finally
Oh
our
yes,
baby. You know, it's like all these celebrities, they go through these pregnancies and get us all invested with their cute pics and all this stuff. And then you have a baby and nothing.
exactly. Like I need delivery room pictures and stuff because you
Hello?
know showed me the pee on the stick, the ultrasounds, the growing belly bump, all your, even your baby shower, everything. And then as
Yeah.
soon as the baby get here, yeah, that's true. Don't be denying the aunties and the grandmothers and the other baby daddies and other baby mamas the picture, but he is very, very cute. I love. He's just such a brown baby. He looked very, very happy. I'm glad. Guess
Us
what?
look very happy.
Yes, and your baby was in a car seat. And you know what? The main thing that I think I like, some celebrities have these kids on too many clothes because they be designer clothes and they be so leather layered and have all this stuff on there. He just would look like he had on one of them onesie t-shirts and he was happy.
And just happy, happy, happy.
Yes.
So she released the video. It's my understanding she released a video on TikTok.
Okay.
And that's the one we see him in the car seat and just gurgling around. He's so cute. But another thing, she released pictures on Hollywood Unlocked.
Okay.
So Jason Lee was talking about, well, he said that apparently they got wind that some paparazzi got some pictures of him, and the A$AP Rocky and Rihanna was like, no, we're gonna at least be able to control how this happens, and they reached out to him, which was pretty cool because they reached out to a black media
Outlet.
outlet and to give them the information or the pictures. But he's super, super cute. His
Mm-hmm.
name, I believe, the internet tell you something. You can't believe everything on the internet, but
True.
Rain Fenty Carter.
Blaine.
Rain. Like rain
Rain. Oh,
on me. Yeah.
rain. Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't want to be quoted on that, but that is what I've seen the internet say. So somebody might have made it up, but
All
uh,
right.
that's what I've seen. But again, honey, looks just like her, just like
Yeah.
I think has ASAP's eyes,
Uh-huh.
but
He
looks
doesn't have her lips because she had that distinctive bold lip at the top. He did, or at least in his baby-esque form right now. It doesn't look like it. So, but he's definitely. I think he's a good mix of both of them. They definitely have a beautiful, beautiful baby, 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 baby. Yeah.
so we love to see the babies, honey.
Yes, absolutely. Show me the baby.
Hello. Speaking of babies,
Mhm.
somebody else had a baby that no one was expecting. Was it Nick Cannon? No.
Not this time.
Like, you got 2 more weeks. He might go for lucky 13 in 2 weeks. But no, it was Diddy. Diddy has
Oh,
been
did it, did it,
reported
did
to
it.
have a baby with a IG model, I believe she is. The baby's name is Love. Yeah, so that was a big conversation because, as we all know, he's with Young Miami. But they, I will say, said that they are just cooling out. They chilling, they talking, and they're not they're dating, right? They're not together because it was some people that, oh, you're a side chick, and she's like, never have I been or will I be a side chick. And he also came out and actually said something. He said something that's very true. He's like, I don't really address stuff on the internet, but for this, I'm going to make it clear. Don't he said, don't disrespect my shorty do wop. Okay.
Do I, wop,
But then,
wop.
like a couple days later, he was out when he was photographed with another IG model. And I don't know if these people are really IG models. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. That is what they are being labeled. But he was out with someone else, and then
Okay.
a couple days after that, he was out with someone else. But again, they are just dating. That means they are not exclusive. He is not exclusive, and 9 times out of 10, Young Miami is also not exclusive. When we together, we have a wonderful time, and we all get the perks of being together, I guess. So, but child, Diddy got a baby. What is this, 7?
Mm, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But this is when you look at, I think the twins, those are his youngest kids. So it's been, you know, I think maybe they're like 13 or 14 years old, somewhere right in there. So it's been a while since he's had a child. Um, but he's a billionaire, so he can afford them. And I think uh I don't think like he's typically like a bad dad or whatever. Like you definitely see him very much in with his children, just doing different stuff with them. Now granted, because social media was not how it is right now, um when his kids was younger, we didn't see how he interacted in different stuff like that. So potentially we will see that. But did he let us know what he want us to know?
Yes, that's what I said, or not. Like we may not ever know like how that whole thing goes. But one thing we do know is that a lot of the women, maybe not all, like to put stuff out there. So
Yeah.
she made posts because the moment they knew who she was, I'm sure people are following her and she's gonna post stuff so then it'll show up on the shade room and other blogs
Yeah.
because once they post, it is for everyone's consumption. So,
Yeah.
congratulations, Diddy.
Yes. Yes. On new baby. And Carisha, she is not bothered as she should not be.
She's not, as she's a city girl. Yeah. She one thing about JT and Carisha, um, they wasn't lying. Like they rap about their life.
Yeah.
So,
They
uh,
like Bobby Schmurda. We ain't coming up with these lyrics just out of, we putting what has happened to music and in a rhythmic form that it rhymes. But oh, this stuff happened.
honey. And speaking of putting life to music.
I
Have you
already
been
know where you're going
following
with
the
this right
Meg
here.
Stallion situation?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, even if you haven't been following, if you are on any like blogs of today, not of yesterday, but any blogs, you cannot help but see the daily updates. And I swear, it is like an episode of Power. Like
Yeah.
legit, I'm sending it to groups saying on today's episode of Power, you have somebody first date, what's her name? Kelsey, her friend. I want a immunity deal. What? Like,
Wait
what
a
kind of
minute.
trial is this? And what are you about to say? Exactly. So she asked for immunity before she said anything.
Wow.
When she took the stand, it was very much, I don't remember. Perhaps. I remember hearing shots, but I don't remember seeing Twitter shoot her.
Oh, so
I'm
clearly
not sure.
she's a fan of Margaret Taylor Greene, where when she went on there, it was like, I plead the fifth. I don't know, not to my recollection. I just 100% deniability.
Well, Meg said that he offered both of them $1 million to not say anything.
The thing
So
is, they should have said, "Did you take it?" Because see, this is the thing. I probably would have took it and still told.
because what can you do? You gonna call the police for me because I didn't take your bribe?
Right, because at that point, you got to give me the money up front,
Exactly.
not after the job is done. But
So she got upset. Bad. I'm trying to remember. It was just just all the reports.
also, Kelsey had made a diss track about Megan after this
Right.
whole debacle, and in there it had a lyric about shots fired, I'm busting
Got you.
at you. And based off of the new law that has been passed in Congress, that they can use your lyrics, not just rap lyrics, your lyrics that you use in music against you in the court of law to show
Probable cause or something like
yes,
that.
yes. So
And the thing, so that is one of the things that came up for her. And so when
mm,
the the attorney actually was reading her lyrics and like, is that you? Is that what you said? And she's like, can you say it again? It's bizarre. I think it's bizarre mainly because the request for immunity first off, it's like, what are we talking about here? I've
mm,
never heard of that. I guess you can, but apparently the other thing with this is it seems as if they are trying to bring up the idea that she could have possibly shot Megan. So
mm,
therefore, if it's possible that someone else shot her, then Tori gets off. Now,
mm.
charges would have to be brought against Kelsey later. So it's, because Kelsey's
And
going
maybe that's why she wanted immunity. So it's just like you already know.
to yeah. But I don't think immunity quite works that way. Well, I'm not sure, child, because I don't do
I
this.
don't know, based off of this whole thing, at this point, it's like,
It's hilarious. I mean, it's not funny because this is real life, but it's just the daily reports are honestly.
and also Megan the Stallion, uh her bodyguard took
Mhm.
missing the day
Yes,
that he's
that was
supposed to
the
took
one that I
stand.
actually sent and was like on today's episode of Power because he was supposed to take the stand. He was a bodyguard that was present, and they couldn't find him. I don't know if they found him since Friday, but as of Friday, they could not find him. Like,
And you know what the bad thing is that yes, this whole thing is interesting to see how it's going to play out. However, on real life tip, even though this is real life, how this affects other people is that when stuff happened to Black women, a lot of times it's just kind of like, oh, well, whatever. And it's almost like this is give them another example. This is why we can't even care because it's some boo boo in the water. Even though her situation ain't got nothing to do with if it was me or if it was you, but that's the way that they do with Black people. We're all lumped together in one thing. So if it happened to her, well, then it's already going to be some type of shady stuff that's happening with other people. So I really don't like that. I really really just don't. But speaking of, I wonder, since now they have that law about using your lyrics against you, I wonder if they're going to be able to use this against Mr. R. Kelly, Robert Kelly, because he came out with a whole album about he
child,
admitted, but like the initial song was a song that he had put out just kind of like on his Facebook or Instagram or whatever before he went to jail after he did the Wendy Williams interview. So it's like, okay, this is not nothing brand new, but this is supposed to be like a whole entire album. So it's like now I don't know.
I saw that. There were reports that, or he tried to say from, I don't know how he having these interviews from jail, but that he didn't do it. Obviously, you didn't because you're in jail, Robert. So we know that you didn't do
You
it.
done something.
Somebody did it, but
But I will say he should not be the only person that's in jail because he himself could not
hell
have not done
no.
that. And I watched both um episodes of Surviving R. Kelly, and almost everybody, 95% of the people who was up there saying something should have been locked up right along with his ass. Excuse me. But yeah, they should have, because they did something and everything.
Absolutely.
Um, so I don't know. I and everybody say that he can't read, he ain't all that suave or whatever. So clearly he couldn't have been able to do all this. He still, even if so,
Somebody
it's
drove
just
the
like
car.
with, yeah,
Somebody, when he wasn't there, somebody was at the house. Somebody was feeding these young women. Some
the
people,
guards,
you
people
know,
who went out to places to try to pick people up. Somebody was booking travel arrangements, hotels,
hotels.
and the list go on. And then when a lot of people talked about what they seen, and y'all didn't say nothing.
Yep.
Okay.
I had a coworker who, when it was a real big conversation, I think that was like in 2016. Not to say it hadn't came up before, but I think that's when the big, like a lot of people started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about that his wife actually was like, yeah, it's definitely true, because they lived in Chicago for a little bit, and her cousin, they went to a concert, or no, wasn't out, they were outside somewhere, and he
Mm-hmm.
pulled up and linked up with the cousin who was 15, and da 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 da. And I was like, I mean, always thought it was true, but now I know someone
It's
who
like,
knows,
oh yeah, it was
you
true,
know.
true.
But again, he wasn't driving his own car. He wasn't there when they were locked up. Other people were
Yeah.
there participating. They were co-conspirators. You know, just how they trying to get these. What is it? YSL.
Yes, and Young Thug and all of those people and on RICO charges, and that's some of what prompted um about using your rap lyrics against you. But when you think about it, that's what got Bobby Shmurda and his whole clique, because that first song that he came out with, it was detailing so much of stuff that they was trying to put stuff together, and they was just
Yep.
wreaking havoc up there in the DMV area. So
Listen. So who just released?
today's snitch is yourself.
Don't be your biggest op. Don't be your biggest op. And Gunna, it's so funny. I don't even know all these artists. What's funny, like a song here and there, but oh, excuse me. I know a song here and there, but I
Yeah.
don't know all the songs. I don't know like what songs or whatever. But these trials had me intrigued. And so Gunna just was released. And of course, some people like, oh, he must have read it, da 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 da. But something came up where it's like, no, that doesn't necessarily mean that. The conversation was because I think, is it child? I don't know. Anyway, it came out because they were talking about, well, they think that one of the people took the rap, because the conversation is, well, if you know you did something wrong and your friend got caught up with you, why wouldn't you take the whole rap and be like, nah, I did it. They didn't have nothing to do with it, because why both of us are gonna be locked up when at least the other person could be out stacking money, working on your trial, all those other things. I don't know. That's been the conversations in the blogs.
But I mean, this is the thing. People, real ones, will take their own charge and not put other people in it.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it's been translated in other languages, so they have some type of catchphrase like a drowning man will grab hold of anybody. So guess what? You know you going down. Like, guess what? It's better to have my homeboys or whoever in here with me.
But are they, like, they might not even be together? That's, I mean, it's wild. I do feel like if you are the person who, was the main, well, now, see, I'm backpedaling, because I was about to say if you were the main person, you should take all the charges. But then when it came to R. Kelly, I'm like, oh, they should be in jail too. Is it not the same thing? I don't know. I just feel like also because it affected so many other people outside of their circle.
Mm-hmm.
As RICO charges affect other people too. That's
Oh, absolutely.
murder. RICO is like murder. Um,
Racketeering is money laundering. Is organized crime and all of that. But at the same time, you have to have like for real money coming in, because they just can't put that on just anybody,
oh
you
yeah,
know.
This is not just like
So
boys on the corner.
yeah, so like if you rapping and you making good rap money and stuff, at that point you do have that with it, because the history of RICO charges, and I forget what the RICO stands for, something, it's like racketeering, espionage, something, all this other different type of stuff. It
Oh,
was actually created to get mobsters, the people that was in the mob, because they're notorious for organized crime. That's how that came up. So it's just like, and they don't hit you with that for nothing. And one thing is for sure, the feds had like a 98% conviction rate. So if the feds come and get you, you might well say whatever it is because you're going to jail.
it's so, let me see. It says Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act.
Okay. Okay.
And corrupt. What's
Mhm.
that organization? Yeah. So that's what RICO stands for. Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it even goes much more deeper
Mm,
into that. What all list of crimes can come up under there that they can include in that, but then that's like the top tier of
right.
stuff. So,
Correct.
but
Everything else just falls under. It's been since 1970 they
yeah,
came up with that. So it's been around for a while. Didn't have nothing to do with us, I guess, until we started making the big money and got involved in this craziness. Listen, don't be your own op. That's the myth. That's the takeaway, please, people. Don't be your
yes.
own.
And speaking of don't be your own op and snitching on on yourself, Derek Jackson, self-proclaimed relationship guru Garo.
Ah,
He him and his wife are divorcing, and this comes after she went on that whole rant. She was preaching to people,
she
which
was.
nothing is wrong with that. And like she prayed for people, like, mind your business, you don't know what's going on, and clearly she ain't know either.
She
But
her. Yeah. I feel
I
bad for her. I'll
I
be honest.
do.
I do.
I,
Because unfortunately I feel like I'm gonna say women, especially in this scenario, always get the bad rap, right? Like,
oh yeah.
you know, whatever. And so are the victim or the person who was cheated on always get the bad rap. But when it's guys who get cheated on, it's a lot of sympathy. It is a lot of sympathy when guys get cheated on, but when women get cheated on, it's like, girl, why you ain't know? How you ain't know?
Or
But
you something that you weren't doing to make your man happy. Guess what? You can do all sorts of kind of stuff. If ain't no get right in you and do right in you, it ain't gonna matter who it is.
a man
Excuse
don't
me,
want to
have
stay
you
there.
seen the likes of Halle Berry, Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, Janet Jackson, and
Don't
the
put me
list
on the list.
and the list go on, where it's like some of these people, we know that they are extremely talented, beautiful, they got money or whatever like that, and you would think if you would be with them, you just cheated on
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
A man or person, but in these instances, we're talking about men who does not want to be faithful, and who does not want to be present. They won't be. Period. A man, no matter what you are doing, who wants to be faithful, he will be. The same thing for a woman. Now he might tell you, okay, so we need to work on some things because this is how I'm feeling. But at the end of the day, you can't keep nobody who don't want to be kept. Period.
This is true.
So Derek, here's a point of that too. He came out and talked about a divorce 2 days after a blog released a picture of him and another woman.
Absolutely. And they was like on a vacation or something like that. And I remember seeing this little post that said, and they had like the side by side when he posted did this confessional, and he had his wife over there in this vacation picture. It said, this is how they want you to dress. And then they want to try to tell you you shouldn't be provocative and stuff like that in dressing. But this is the type of person that they always seem to go for or whatever like that. And it's just kind of one of those things that um Erica said, what? 2 days, have some decorum.
Exactly. Because
Because
but he was trying to get in front of it. He was trying to get
yeah.
in front of all the backlash because he still has followers. He's still a guru gyro, as you said, Renee. I like that one. He is still a guru. He's, I guess, still talking about, yes, I made a mistake, but therefore, because everyone's human, realize that everyone is human. But when you consistently make the same mistakes, it is no longer a mistake. It is a choice. And what was it, like a month before she went
Mm-hmm.
on this, speaking in tongues and doing all this stuff online, talking about stay out my business and drink your water. She, as you say, she was not aware.
She wasn't when I saw that it came up and what she had did that, it really gave me the and I what really just like hit home and it really made me feel bad. You remember when Portia Williams was first married and then he announced like they get a divorce and she literally was in the other room and was like she had absolutely no clue. And to me, even with that, like I question, I'm not gonna say like did he ever love her or whatever, but still, even if so, what happened in between it that you have lost all sense of respect.
Respect.
And this is this is your children's mother that it's like nothing goes away in the cloud. Like the cloud will rain some old rain later on in years to come because somebody go scrape that thing out of there because you gonna be your old man talking about, oh, I was on the internet and I was doing this, that, and the other. And maybe when you first start out, like, yeah, I hope that I do go viral and I get big and stuff like that. But and you don't know, and maybe you was good and faithful, but then when people start sliding in them DMs and stuff like that, it's like, huh, let me go ahead on and say something. Let me holler back.
Right. But I
But
think, it's interesting, these gurus have so much to say, and about relationships. And when something happens with their relationship, we seem not to find out anything about it. Like what actually went wrong. Besides cheating, that is always, we already know that piece, but it's kind of like Megan Good and oh Lord,
Devon.
yes. Not that I have to know anything. It won't make me any taller. It won't help me lose these 30 pounds any faster. However, because we knew so much about your relationships, you guys wrote a book, y'all don't come in on the back end. And I say that kind of mixing it with the Derek Jackson thing because it was interesting. He was still online, still, talking about relationships and the things that work and maybe the things that haven't worked in his relationship. But yet here we are. So child, speaking of relationships gone bad online, Wendy
Mm,
Williams.
um,
I hate to transition with that, but Wendy Williams, her marriage dissolving happened in a really public way,
yeah.
uh, similar to the things that she discussed. Unfortunately, while she was there, very entertaining woman, and we've talked about Wendy before because she definitely paved the way for all the tea to be poured at all times,
Mhm.
on all the blogs and all media outlets. But there was a video that came out this week about her. It's just a short video where she was walking somewhere in New York, and she has I don't know, it's a lymphatic disease, I believe, and I don't want to misquote, make up a disease, but it's something that's really affecting her legs, and she struggled to walk. And so the paparazzi, she was very cordial to them, and she was like, "Can someone help me inside?" And just seeing her in that way, it's like, my God, how heartbreaking that is to see someone that you
Mhm.
saw like rise to success and then now to be in a place where she's not about the success in being on television, but just in her body.
Mhm.
Like they always say health is wealth, and that is like period. Health
You
is
came
wealth.
by.
You can't buy it. It doesn't matter unless you're old boy who had like 4 heart transplants.
What, the Rockefellers? But
Yes.
then you part of that elite
Yeah.
family of
You know,
people, as I say, when they out there talking about the people that run the world, like you part of that. But
yeah, that's the only time that you can buy your health, and maybe not even health. You're buying you to continue living, but it's just such a reminder of how important it is to take care of your body. I'm not saying that she did anything. Like, she's been very candid about her life with cocaine and things like that. I don't know if that played a role. I do know sometimes when you do a lot of drugs early on in your life, later on, yeah, it can take a toll on your body. So, but just my heart goes out to her just to see where she is right now. I do hope she come back. I still think Wendy Williams can come back at least on a podcast platform.
she's supposed to be having a podcast coming out. I forget the name of it. It's Wendy something.
She needs to do it. She needs to do it. How you doing, Wendy? Please bring it. It could be called, probably will be called, not like I made this up, but how you doing? Because that's her classic phrase. I hope she, what is it, did her LLC and did all her copyright. You know, there's so many people
Yeah,
out there that don't do those things, and they don't think about that until later, and then somebody else has it. But I think, again, Wendy, we just want you to get better and just come back out here and do your thing, like for
yeah,
real.
yeah. Last thing on that while we were out that came up, and it was at Winston Salem State, that's in Winston Salem, North Carolina. It's HBCU,
Mhm.
where it was video footage of the class that's taking place, and the professor that is of the Caucasian persuasion called the actual cops, not campus security, but called the cops on a student who yelled at her. But when the entire video, and she came out and other people was coming out, said that the teacher yelled at her first, so she yelled back, and she would not apologize to the teacher for that, and then that is why she called the police. And you do see some of that back and forth, was like, why did you do that? It was like, you should have apologized. And if anybody see from when we did a previous podcast with Kimberlyn Jackson, and we talked about that a little bit, about I've always been kind of leery weary of white teachers teaching at predominantly black colleges and universities. It's like, why?
Mhm.
I never did just understand that, because in so many other places they do not want to be the only one, or they do not want to be um of the
The
few
other.
white people in a sea of black people. So I just kind of, I've never really understood that at all. And it's,
I mean, it's called a job. So, meaning,
well,
if
white people is able to get jobs everywhere, where people of color and black folks cannot. So I
right,
just look at you. You done took somebody else's job that was definitely qualified to teach whatever you teaching, and I, I don't know.
I'll say I had a couple of, both of us went to HBCUs for anyone who's watching for the first time. And I had a couple of, I think maybe two white professors. Never really had any issues with them. Um, and they seemed to actually want us to succeed. It wasn't, that vibe like, why are you here? But I definitely get that question that raises, comes up, like, why are you here? And I will say, because of a job, right? Like, outside of those that have done like different studies, like you were talking, we talked about it earlier, like if you had a specific African American studies or Native American heritage or different things that would definitely, people at HBCUs will take, but it's a job, and everybody's going for the same job at different universities. So if you come to a HBCU, you get a job and you qualify. That doesn't mean that there wasn't someone who looked like us that didn't apply, but that particular person had a job. So I mean, but to your point, this particular teacher for sure was only there for a check. Because to say you didn't apologize. So apologies required an arrest. So is this
I,
1940? or
Yes.
1960. You know, we can go up, granted, but it is wild. It is really wild that that happened and that it was allowed. Like, I feel like the teacher definitely should have some type of reprimand.
Oh, absolutely.
Even calling campus security is would be ridiculous because if she wasn't causing a disturbance, you just want her to apologize. You know, even if you say, "I need want you to leave my class," you have a right to do that as a teacher. Maybe you
Yes. And
felt
if she
you
did it,
causing
if
a
she refused to leave the class,
disturbance.
then that would have been something else. But I think with the teacher being there at HBCU, she understand when you're there and you have the campus security, there's an extended amount of grace and mercy that they're looking out where she weaponized the police as many white people
Oh
do
yeah,
when they call on black people like, I want you arrested, and if they kill you, then so be it, because they know they come not to de-escalate, they come
I
and
agree.
usually it's things are
It
raised even
escalates.
further.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it escalates when they show up a lot of times, and I really hope that she's reprimanded. And I hope she loses her job. Let me tell you why. Because why would any student want to sign up for her class?
at
Why
that
would
point.
any student say, "Yes, I feel safe in this class"? Because at any moment, if you yell at me, I don't, and I'm not saying that it was right, who was right or wrong, but you're yelling at me. I'm an adult and I paid to be here. So, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, why are you being disrespectful to me as
Mm-hmm.
a person? And then secondly, because I yelled back, you call the police. I would never, because if you call the police for an apology, you could call the police for something else that you feel like I'm uncomfortable. Really? Why? And that definitely starts the question of why are you here? You should not be here. Because there's no way in any scenario where you would ever feel comfortable around black people unless
Mm-hmm.
they are doing and saying and moving the way you want them to move.
Exactly.
So why
Exactly.
are you here? You should not be there. So I hope she lose her job. I don't, and I hope I want people to keep their jobs.
I
Kind.
hope you lose it right before Christmas.
But
Merry
I
Christmas,
do.
Happy New
I
Year.
hope
You ain't got to worry about any time out.
absolutely. I hope she lose her job. I hope whatever tenure was on the table is off the
Off.
table. Lose your job. Let this be your worst Christmas.
And
And
guess what? Even if she does have tenure, I hope for anyone that needs to take her class next semester that they purposely, no students sign up for that class. Be inconvenienced if you got to have an early morning or a late afternoon class or even a Saturday class or something, or you just got to wait and take that for another
or
semester.
you take it in the
Because,
or the summer because of what happens in HBCUs depending on the size. Because I went to FIT, so we had smaller classes. We didn't have a bunch of different classes. So there were some teachers that the only way I could take this class is if I take it with you. And listen,
mm,
if I had to drop it, I'm not taking it with you. I'm gonna go take it during the summer because that was my situation.
right,
With a particular physics teacher. Okay, I taught
exactly.
it. I took it again. I was like, "Oh no, sir! I'm going to take this during the summer." He was the only one who was teaching it at the time, and I'm like, "Yeah." So
We had the same thing
if
happen.
they
And
don't do that, I hope the students put
the
up.
the students, they can put you out of business.
There you go.
Whereas I say, I'm not gonna take your class. I'm just not gonna take your class. We're gonna rally like nobody's gonna take that class or whatever. And I hope that the universities look at it at the same way, where you have an incoming freshman class, and that some people they already their parents like you ain't going over there,
Correct.
even though you're going to take a plethora of other classes, not just that particular one, but the whole point is like, guess what? I'm not sending my child to a place, even though it could happen anywhere. Honest to God, truth, it could happen anywhere. But when it does happen in certain places, guess what? Nah.
And
So,
here's the thing, yes, it can happen anywhere, but this is the HBCU. And when we talk about HBCUs, we talk about the connection, we talk about the safe space. So this is a safe space for people that look like us, period. So I should not be experiencing the same thing that I would experience at a PWI or if I'm just walking down the street. I expect a safe space. I don't expect somebody to help me graduate easy or just make it easy and just pass me. No, a safe space is a place I can come and learn, and there's people who understand me and see me and respect me. That is
Mm-hmm.
what I expect. And if you are not getting that, then what is the point of going to an HBCU? Because that is really the goal. That is really the reason why, the conversation of HBCUs is so big and is so important, because it's a safe space.
Right.
So you
Absolutely.
have broken that, you have violated that safe space, and you need to go. Period. You need to go.
Deuces.
Do sit. I
Yes.
guess we're talking about a unmarried Christmas for that particular teacher. We're gonna
Yeah.
get to the topic for tonight. So we decided that we wanted to talk about the holidays because obviously it's a week before Christmas. And
Yes.
we were having this conversation about foods, and I'm not really in the Christmas spirit for a number of reasons, right? Um, but if you think about it, when 20 years ago, how are you feeling? When you're a child, how you're feeling? Like, what has changed? That is the question for tonight. Like, what has changed over the years for you? You could still be excited about Christmas, but what has changed for you? And not just Christmas. We talk about the holidays. Holidays, there's a number of holidays out there. There's Kwanzaa, there's Hanukkah, there's Christmas, there's Halloween. So we're in the holiday time. We're rounding out. Last holiday after Christmas would be New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So what has changed for you over the years? I would say for me, Renee, you look like you ready.
Well, one thing that definitely has changed, well, my son, he's 19 years old now. So not playing Santa Claus and having, small children around in the house. Um, with the expectation and you want to decorate because they start talking about Christmas, everybody, around them. And as they get older, things that type of stuff it kind of fizzles out and it's not so much. And it starts even before November, at least for me.
Yeah,
Like Christmas shopping is like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna get him and stuff like that. And you need to make your list out and the hustle and bustle trying to get Black Friday deals or whatever. So all of those things just kind of die down. So I definitely feel like having smaller kids around definitely keeps you in the Christmas spirit, especially if Christmas is not your top holiday where some people, they just go overboard. Like, November 1st, if not Thanksgiving evening, after they don't wash dishes, they already putting up the tree.
that's a wrap.
Yeah. So, my Christmas was my grandmama jam. Like the
Mhm.
whole house, she changed out. She had holiday Christmas dishes
Oh, I
that
love
we could eat off of. And she had stuff that she was gonna set the table. She was going to change, the hand towels and stuff in the kitchen, the mittens, bathroom, everything. She was gonna change curtains. Like the whole house was going to be done. Done,
See,
done,
I feel like
done,
I have that
done,
in
done.
me. Like, I would love to do the whole curtains, floors, soap dispensers, towels, but who am I doing it for? I'm just be doing it for me and my puppy and my mama who come over sometimes. So it's like I have it in me. At one time, like before I moved to Atlanta, before I left Nashville, I definitely agree with you. Like having kids around, because like my god kids are there, Corey, just you have kids around you. They're just so happy and they love Christmas. They love just the holidays, Halloween. They're asking, "Oh, what you going at?" This whole thing. They keep you just what they say. Young people keep you young. I think
Yes.
about children, like just being around small children or younger children, not just really small, really keeps you excited about the holidays. And I know my last Christmas was like, I don't feel like it. I did not put up my tree last Christmas. I just was not in the mood. I did put my tree up this year. Your tree looks very lovely.
Thank you. I didn't put everything up, but I was like, I had to force myself, but it came in little waves and stuff. I didn't, once I realized, like, oh my goodness, I got a whole nother tub of Christmas stuff. So I could have put garland with the lights and stuff around outside on the front porch. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. So it's some stuff that's in there. And I was like, it's all right. I said, it's enough of stuff on the tree. to get it. And then I did put like the icicle things on the patio. I
Uh-huh.
did that. So, and I have some other stuff like the banistering around the fireplace, and I put some other little knickknacks and stuff out or whatever in my downstairs bathroom. So I definitely have tried my best to get into the Christmas
Great.
spirit as best as I can. It
Yeah.
may not be to
How you
the
want to
top
do it.
tier or whatever, but it was
Yeah.
like I did make the effort. Now I hope that the stuff ain't up to Easter time. Like that's what I want to be able
See,
to
and I
like.
think
Okay,
that was my thing. So last year, my Christmas tree was probably up until like April. No
oh
lie.
okay.
So once I put it down, then it was down, but it was in a container in my living room until probably November when my
At
brother
that point,
came.
it was time to take it back out.
But I didn't want to. I'm like, but then it's gonna be here on this floor until. So I was just like, I'm gonna put an attic. I'm not in the spirit anyway. Jonathan,
Where is a written rule at that you can't keep these things up all year round?
there is no written rule.
So guess what? If my tree is up into summertime, that's
Because
fine.
you staying festive. You giving yourself life.
The thing is, am I still gonna have it plugged up running the light bill up? See, that's the difference. So sometimes you can have it's like you still plugging that stuff up. Look, I am one of them black people that rock and say, oh, I know that light bill
Yeah,
sky
hi, that's
high.
the worst thing. Man, I was driving in this evening and on a corner in a neighborhood there's like multiple houses that have lights. And that was the first I said, oh, I know that light bill high. That is such a black thing. Why do we say that? First they were
Because
like,
we
I know that
know.
light bill is high. Because
We know.
y'all got decorations inside too. And they probably
Absolutely.
use electricity as well. And you know, on our last show, you talked about how that ticker moves
That prepaid,
we
let me tell you, anything plugged up, boy, let me tell you, it's just
when
that's
you
why
see,
I do not get
when you
mad
see
when
this
people put
ticker,
that
I bet
magnet with
you
that
could
brick on
unplug
that thing on the meter because they already know it slow it down. Don't stop it now. But it'll definitely
it.
slow that mug on down. Slow it on down. Slow it on down.
Well, I did put my tree up this year, and I didn't put any bulbs. I have a puppy that I love, my little
It's a
baby.
horse, people, but we ain't gonna talk about it.
We gonna talk about my baby,
Her
but
little pony.
she's gonna be big. But so since she's a puppy, she's a little over 3 months. She's trying to eat everything, and I was like, but I really want to put my Christmas tree up, so I only put the Christmas tree up. It has lights. It still looks pretty, whatever. And I did the skirt. Have we been fighting? Yes, we have. It's a lot of stop Chloe, no Chloe, stop Chloe. But hopefully next year I can put actual stuff on my tree and it can remain there without any issues. But I have this little Santa Claus man here. Y'all see him up there? Have a holly jolly Christmas. He's on my mantle. And yeah, that's the Christmas trees. I got that as
Oh,
a
I've been saying it. They look like two little Christmas trees.
yes. I
Okay.
had that. Somebody gave it to me as a gift, and I took it out with this stuff. I didn't even know I had it. Remember, and I put it on my mantle. Erica said, "I feel like I acknowledge Christmas, but not really celebrate it. I feel it. I feel it.
So like, yes,
Like
it is Christmas
it's
time.
coming. Um,
But I ain't celebrating it like that
I used
here.
to love Christmas though, like for real, for real. And I used to be in all the holidays. I wanted to decorate, do all this stuff. I did it mostly, I think, even at work for the decorating. But
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's the busyness of it all, the extra. Because let me tell you, everybody gifts are like that Temptation song in my mind. They are not purchased. They are not like legit. There's one that's a stocking stuffer. I have a week. And I really don't have a week because it's already what late on a Sunday because so Christmas is already a week from now. They would have had the gifts or not. But you know, it's the thought that counts. So I hope my thoughts is worth something next week. Um, just in case things don't come in. No, I plan on getting gifts for people. But
Be happy if I come to work.
It,
That is the gift. I
listen,
am the
I'm
gift
old.
that I came to work. Because guess what?
I am
Somebody
old.
right now, I already know when Wednesday come, they ain't coming back to the Wednesday after the new year because they sick, they got COVID, they got flu, and all other kind of stuff.
Well,
So
already
PTO prepare the of us
practiced.
because they ain't gonna be there.
I am off for the next 2 weeks. I don't know how to handle myself. I'm so excited. So that is the gift that keeps on giving for me. I'm going to get me a lot of sleep. But it's just, I feel better about Christmas this year. But yeah, so that's where I am with that. I just say, I'm going to get gifts. You may not get it on Christmas.
Yeah.
Amazon might not be as prime as it usually priming. So Erica said the flu is going around. I know that's right.
Yes.
Oh Lord, I feel chills.
And if you're in
Yes.
Tennessee, they really can't say that you didn't have the flu because right now we had the nation's highest rate of flu as of current. And I definitely see that in my job.
Sunflower Ish 6 says, what about watching Christmas TV shows now? I've done that this year. I did not do that last year. And I was a Grinch. I was on some real like Grinch stuff last year. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. My mom was like, you want to? Nope, I don't. But this year I have watched a couple Christmas shows. I mean, we all know like Christmas movies and TV shows are just like Lifetime. You always know how it's gonna end, but they're feel good, and I have watched some. Have you watched any, Renee?
I have, but not as many because my mama she'll wear you out because in July, the Hallmark Channel do Christmas in July. So I had already watched probably about 567,000 Christmas portions of Christmas movies back in July. So I'm good.
Listen,
I watch.
that's the thing. You made me think of something that I haven't done in years. That's the thing. In July, I was playing Mariah Carey, honey. You was
Oh,
hearing All I Want for Christmas Is You in July, and also Boys to Men. Was it Let It Snow? Whatever their Christmas album
yes,
was.
let us know. Let me tell
That
you,
was
they
my
whole
first
Christmas
album.
album. Look, my
Bomb.
sister had that, and I remember being at home, and because that was one of the CD players, and we had got like a CD player,
Mm-hmm.
like little boombox thing, and everybody that was coming, that thing was playing in the background. There was this like smooth jazz. It was like ain't no jingle jangle bells. It ain't none of that. It's Let It Snow. The fires
Yeah,
blazing, and we was on that tip. I
that
remember
album
that.
was the bomb. It was not album because it was a CD, but that was actually my first CD purchase.
Really?
Yes, that was my first CD purchase.
Oh, that's what's up right
I
there.
loved Christmas like for real. Sunflower 6 says Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, so you talking about classics. You are right. But I have never had a like classic. Like some people say, oh, it's not
Oh, let me tell you this.
watch this. I've never had like a classic traditional movie I need to watch. Except
No.
what is that Whitney Houston movie? Uh
Um,
Preacher's
with
Wife.
Denzel, yeah, that's a good one.
That
That's
is
a
a
class.
classic. And I find myself watching that during Christmas. But it's not like, oh, it's Christmas time. Let me go and find it. It's like come on TV because they're playing it on BT.
Okay, now I
I like
will say that a staple has been is like, and it's just classic, like the Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Christmas, like when they've done their holiday stuff, like you always got to do that. But I remember one year, my mama she had bought VHS for my tapes, Christmas tapes for my goddaughter.
mm-hmm.
And mama said, Lord, for the whole year was frosty. She said, frosty, frosty, frosty. Mama's, and this is the thing when the movie was off, you could not stop. She had to watch the credits too. And you gotta rewind that thing back. Mama said, Lord, all year long. She said, if I had known I was gonna be watching Frosty for a whole year, she said, I wouldn't have bought that thing. But it was so because it was like Frosty, it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and a couple of other like classic cartoons and stuff. But she got on that Frosty, and you had to let the credits play. She knew
Yeah.
all of the words, knew all of the songs, and she was just like my grandma, my aunt. Now, honey, don't you walk in front of that TV? Like when the soap opera song, like her show is on. I'm like, good lord, the movie just keep on playing. Nana, Nene, Mom said I had to show her, press this button and rewind it. Mom said, Lord, she said, of all movies that the VCR wouldn't tear up and eat up because you
Of
know
course.
played it so much and rewind it back. Not that one. Let me tell you that videotape was covered, but she
You know,
said,
children will watch something over and over and over.
and not get tired. One bit.
Ever.
They don't read the room like, do you see me over here? I'm suffering.
They don't. I don't think they care. I
They
don't think
don't.
they care.
They don't.
I will say, like, my best Christmas ever was when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
And I woke up to the phone ringing. And I had a phone in my bedroom. Like, the phone was ringing. I woke up and I'm like, the phone ringing.
It was
And
a
my
cell
mom was
phone?
standing there. No, 16. Not a cell phone, girl. It was a room
Well,
phone.
back then they was
I
the
had
big
my
ones.
own line.
That was big as a briefcase. I don't
I had
know.
my own line. I mean, well, you know what I'm saying, 16. People wasn't getting cell phone. You probably got your own beeper. But you wasn't getting no cell phone. My best one, definitely. Girl, well, I was like, oh my God. I remember my mama had video. I'm jumping in the bed. Ah! I was so excited. I still had a curfew on the phone, but it was so nice to have my own my own phone line, child. I guess my mama probably was just tired of picking up the phone. Like, I need to use the phone.
Because you know, back in the day when a phone call was coming through and somebody was supposed to call, nobody couldn't use the phone.
Correct.
You answer the phone, it's like, who is this? Look, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm waiting on a phone call. But just a little black history. A black woman invented call waiting.
Correct.
A black woman invented three-way call because guess what? We go catch you. And these are all different black women. I should know the name. Next time I know the name. And it was a black woman that invented. I said call ID, right? No.
Mm-hmm.
So call waiting, three-way call, and call ID. Where's this? I ain't answering that call. It's like, oh yes, I've been waiting on this call. This it. Yes.
Or you can look like, I don't feel like talking to you.
See, it's our little Erica says she didn't know that. See, now this is the whole point. You gotta learn something. Merry Christmas to you. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna be doing all this Valhalla with all these people in this house about this phone. I just need to do this and just to get you caught up. Let me go ahead. They probably was the one who invented mute on the phone too. So when you did that three-way call, mute your phone and shut up and just listen. Man, I can't remember how many times folks got caught up. Like, man, I can't wait to get to school tomorrow. Like, it's like, I know I was on a phone call. Yes.
What was your best or worst Christmas?
Oh Lord. Well, they kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
With the best and the worst. But let me just tell you, like, one of my funniest Christmas, okay? Before we get to the best or worst. So it was a couple of years ago, and my big little brother, Brody, cousin, you know, all my cousins, they my siblings and stuff like that. So his family came in, he had 4 children, and my Aunt Berthina would always have, like, what she called as the winning roast and stuff. So she wanted, like, build a bonfire, roast weenies out there, do s'mores or whatever like that. And
what a nice tradition.
Girl, let me tell you, she wanted to didn't want to try to regulate how much people want to eat. Like, that's one thing. Like, no. So me and my sister, we was always, girl, she come out there and just buy like one family pack of Winnies. And it's like, well, everybody eat one. Who want to eat just one Winnie? Like, have you met kids? A 2-year-old can eat a whole pack of Winnies themselves. So it's like, no. So then was like, well, what about this? You ain't got nothing to drink. Like, she had like one little sack of stuff, and it's like, this ain't gonna cut it. And then you want to invite, it's like, you know, they're gonna invite other people. So anyway, me and my sister, we buy all this food and all this other kind of stuff. People, they coming out there to the house and everything. And this particular Christmas, it is 77 degrees in Greenwood, South Carolina. So I am out there. I go down there with winter clothes and I ask my auntie, it's like, do you have like a t-shirt or something? Like, everything I got is winter clothes. So she was like, I see a tank top. So I got on a tank top and I got on some like yoga pants or whatever like that. And it's dark outside. Everybody out there. Next thing you know, I just started screaming. If y'all hear my feet, I'm out there shouting in the name of Jesus. Fire ants done got all on me. And you, if anybody doesn't
Oh
know about these fire ants, Lord, they wait till they get all the way half of your body, then they say bite them. And I mean, it's
no!
just like, and
Oh my
I
God!
am running, I am screaming, and I am getting out them pants in front of everybody. Because guess what? Let me tell you, when fire ants on you, you do not care. You do not care.
Oh my
So I
goodness!
go in there and my my cousin Brody, his wife, she always catch stuff on video, but it's like this was happening and she did not catch it. And but her mother was there. So when I go into the house, like to try to get in the shower, you know, my aunt and them, the older people in the house, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, they on me, they on me. You know, at that point, people they don't know if you
Oh,
having the Holy Ghost, who coming after you? Like, do we need to be running too? And I'm in there and I'm ants just everywhere. They was all inside my pants. They was all up in
oh
my
my
underwear.
God!
Oh my God, they had ate me up. She said, well, to put the fire, get some deodorant and put it on. And I'm like, up under my own, like, put it on the bites. And I will say this. It don't matter what kind of deodorant. If you got some fire ants or like that, and you rub some deodorant on, I don't know what's in that deodorant, but it's gonna stop that fire.
Okay, do you
Lord have mercy. That was like because it never got cold enough to dry the fire ants down, and then since it was dark and stuff like that, honey, I ain't no telling. They had got on me. They had got on me. So that's always one of the things like that they had got on me, and they had told me up. They ate me up, but it was like they see me coming up out them pants and them shoes and them socks. Like,
don't worry
let
about
me
who.
tell you something. It's amazing that I was able to run into the house because let me tell you, in the country, you don't know darkness until it be showing up black. And when we go around their house, let me tell you, it is a whole nother level of blackness. Had I ran into the abyss, guess what? They would have been like, Molly, come back. Come back, because ain't nobody would have ran after me. They would have tried to find me back 12 hours later when the sun comes. Like, I'm not. They would have tried to pull a car around there. It's like, let me just try to shine a light back there, see if we can see 100. Black folks not going to be running in no bushes after nobody else. Shit, no. But yes, that was like the funniest Christmas. That happened a
That
couple of
sounds like the worst Christmas. Do you have
No.
a worser? Is that the correct word?
Oh
Do
my
you have
God,
a
yes.
worse
Let me
Christmas?
tell you. Okay, so like my best and worst Christmas to date happened all at the same time.
Okay.
And stuff because it was the Christmas I ended up getting like everything plus some more on my list. But it was the same year that I found out it wasn't no Santa Claus.
How old were you?
All enough, I don't know. I probably still been believing in Santa Claus to this day had it not been for my sister and stuff like that. So it's in the middle of the summer. I remember we had shorts on. My mama had a Chevy Nova. And my sister, she was like, come here, let me show you something. And she grabbed my mama keys. And I'm like, what is you doing? Because you already know. Anybody black, no, don't put your hands on your mama no
So
keys.
she was old enough to drive or big enough to drive?
No, neither one of us. Even if she did, she ain't asked. My lady, come on now here. Let me show you something. And then I was like, okay. I was like, you don't supposed to have the keys. Shut up. Let me show you something. I go out there. And she opened up the trunk, and literally, like, you could hear the angels like, and lights and stuff. And I see all this stuff. And then she said up there and said, that's your Santa Claus, and slammed the trunk down. Yes.
Dang.
So it was just like, oh my God. And I remember standing out there for like the longest, just right there. My sister going in like it ain't nothing happened or anything. Look, they out there laughing. No, this is sad. This is not funny at all. And stuff. And then so Christmas morning, like the whole year, I'm praying like, Lord, please don't. And see, I know it had to be in like June, July. Because my mama, she used to start shopping for us, like in July, because she didn't want to be shopping late in the year, especially around Christmas time. She didn't want all the stuff that been packed on and all this other kind of stuff. But yeah, and then Christmas morning come, it's like, oh my God, I got everything on my list. Da, da, da. This is the same stuff I seen in that trunk of that car. It's like, it really ain't no Santa Claus. And it's like, why is my sister meddling in thinking about Christmas during the middle of the summer?
That is a good point. So do you think she already knew or she had just found out?
I ain't no telling. She always was so grown. She probably knew. She probably ain't never believed in no Santa Claus. I ain't no telling. I'm just gonna say, I could be wrong. I don't know, but the way that she presented, she didn't seem like she was sad or distraught. Just say, come here, let me show you something. And then the way she slammed that thing down, that's your Santa Claus right there.
Break your heart.
Look at Yetta, she up there laughing. I believe that's the same year her sister found out it wasn't no Santa Claus too. But guess what? We have, since we're in the court, we're gonna we need to add hello.
So for everybody, we are bringing Quinn to the scene so she can
I do not
herself.
Understand why we are in the 40 spot, which is indicative of ages, and she is still holding on to memories of Christmases past, like the ghost of Christmas. So let me just say, first off, y'all were talking about Christmas decorations, and I get outdone every year. I put up my Christmas tree for y'all right before the live.
I love it.
Charlie Brown.
You got a Grinch. You know what? I'm gonna do a little
But what I will say is that, you know, in our family there are groups of girls that are similarly aged, and those of us that are older have younger sisters. And she is correct. She did tell it partly correct that we did destroy the hope of Christmas the same year. We did. But here's the thing. In my defense, my mother always said that all we have is each other. And to take care of your sister. And to let her know stuff. And I felt like she needed to know. So yes, the way it was a hot, humid July in South Carolina. My mother had gone to get in the shower, so I was working with a very, limited window. Mm-hmm. But I had to time it correctly as to not get my behind tore up for playing with the keys. I don't remember exactly what my mom sent me to the trunk to get out for her. But my naturally inquisitive self looked for other things in the
trunk. Oh, there's a lot of stuff back here.
And discovered there were toys and clothes and games, and I mean it's July, Christmas in July, and I had contemplated whether or not I was gonna tell her.
And I have a question. In all honesty, you said you were trying to have her back, but why did you slam the trunk?
Because she had pissed me off. This was the summer. We are both out of school. It is nothing else going on but hot and heat, and a little sister that does not want to play what I want.
You always want to play teacher.
That's
school out. I don't want to be doing paperwork.
I taught her something that summer. It was that's your Santa Claus. And that was the end of it.
Damn.
Nothing except
cold-blooded
singing. But even before.
Man, I have my cheeks hurt.
Listen, so I can say this now. So Corey, her son, look, my nephew's son, who was raised as an only child, I felt like was past the point that he should have caught on that Santa Claus was not real. And I told her, I said, I'm going to tell him. And I think that's what stirred the trauma in her a few years ago and brought
5 years ago, because my baby was 14 and he still believed. But then everybody was telling him, I'm going to tell him, and I had to keep him away from everybody.
And I was like, he still believes in Santa Claus? And he was like, yeah.
Right.
So I had to keep my baby away from all of you all.
There's a movie on Netflix talking about. There's a movie on Netflix called "I Believe in Santa Claus."
Yes, 14, Erica Freeman.
He played along. He knew. He had some idea. He just didn't want to let go of all of the good gifts. But I was ready to not be up late at night having to help set up Santa. I'm ready to go to bed. This
boy won't put out cookies.
14. We ain't doing no cookies, no milk. He is just, stretching out a good thing. And I treat him sometimes like a little brother. So little sister, little brother, I was ready to give him both.
If I had let her tell it, Corey would have known when he was like 9 or 10 years old. And it's like, no, leave him alone. Like, it's all right.
Maybe I don't remember ever believing in Santa Claus. Honestly, I don't remember that.
Well, somebody probably told you when you were so young.
Oh, yeah, my mama
That's probably what.
I'm sure my mama was like, this is me buying these gifts.
Some probably ain't no telling.
What I do think, and raised in a single parent household, I have friends who have children who very early on destroyed the idea of Santa, right? And if you come from, a black or brown home, it was, I don't want you thinking that this white man came into our house after hours and brought you all of these gifts, right? I've heard that. I've heard the stories of people say, well, I work all year long. I work hard to provide that to my kids. And that's what I want them to know, that I provided it. But I will tell you, with my mom doing the holidays the way that she did, even though Renee is saying I destroyed it, we still today, right? This story aside, we still have conversations of amazement on how she pulled off the magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
What I believe is that childhood is made of those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And when I think about my mom and the sacrifices and, the wonder and amazement that she created during this time of year, there is nobody else that would ever get credit for that. And I am still in amazement how she pulled it off. So I know different strokes for different folks, but I'm just telling you, not only am I a December baby, so I just love this time of year anyway, but it was a magical thing.
Yes. And that's the thing. I've always loved Christmas, but I literally don't remember a time when my mom told me, baby, I just don't think, maybe I never believed. There's this girl I follow who she's told her daughter, there's no Christmas, there's no Elf on the Shelf, all this stuff. And her daughter's like, no, Elf on the Shelf is real. And when is he showing up? And she's like the magic of Christmas. And, she's just like, so guess what? We got a damn elf on the shelf in our house because I am not going to squish. I told her it's not.
But this is one thing I will say for some parents who never come out and tell they never tell their kids that there is a Santa, or if your child has found out, tell your child, don't tell other kids, because sometimes you do not know. Don't roll your eyes.
Well, I never told anybody there's no such thing as a Santa.
Don't tell.
I never did that, Queen.
Don't tell somebody else. Because see, one time my friend, her son, it was in July. We was going to see movies in the park. And then I don't know why these three little boys back there talking about Christmas in the middle of July. And, we got air conditioning on. And then Jaden was like, it ain't no Santa Claus, and my stomach dropped. And Corey was like, is that true? And his cousin Dre was like, that's not true. I said, guess what? When you stop believing, that's when you don't get what you want. I said, did you get what you wanted, Jaden? And he was like, no. And then I was like, but Corey, did you get everything you wanted? He said, and more. I said, what about you, Dre? He said, yes, I got everything I wanted. I said, see there? It is a Santa Claus. When you believe, you get everything plus some more. And it was just like the whole time, like I am like seriously just sweating. I was like, oh, Jesus, it almost happened. Like the day was the day. Like, I mean, like you really sitting up there like
hold his hand in that trauma.
Man, you in like Super Mario Brothers level 24. And you got to sit up there and you got to jump over the turtles and stuff coming out and fireballs. Like, that's how I feel.
I want to know, so the people in the comments with us, do you think that Quinn was right or wrong?
Wrong.
He says on the right side, she says, my mama said we all we got, and I'm supposed to take care of her, so I want her to know the truth. On the other side, she slammed the trunk and said, there's your Christmas.
That's your
and I bebopped back in the house and put the keys on.
I should have told on you, but I was so distraught. I should have told, like, Mama, Quinn had them keys, so Mama could have beat you till Christmas Day. That would have been a long, like, yeah, she had.
Why didn't you tell your mom? Were you like?
I was still standing out there with my mouth open. I was shocked.
And she knew that if I wasn't supposed to be in the trunk, she wasn't supposed to be in the trunk either. So if we go down, we going down.
Exactly, because I would always get with why you do what your sister tell you to do. That's why Queen gets so mad when I'm like, he ain't none of my mom. I ain't got to do it.
She was about to be an op. She was about to be no op, man. She like, if I don't go down.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. Dang.
Yes. Now I'm gonna tell you 1 year. Yetta, I don't know if she remembered this because all of us, we're in the same age group. Her sister and her brother and me and my sister. This particular year, everybody got bikes. Everybody got bikes. I remember. Do you remember that? Like they was over there at the barn that was pulling out something. They didn't want no lights on. It was just so much of commotion. It was like we know it was something going on. It was right before for Christmas and stuff like that.
Oh, see, she already had some kind of.
No, that was after the fact. I had got a 10-speed bike. I was big then. Back then, I would have got a little bike with a banana and a banana seat with a basket on the front.
I just want to let you know, Quinn, as for right now, we only have one for you were right. As a big sister, Miss Angie said you were right. Everyone else is saying you're wrong.
As a human being, we shouldn't say as a big sister. As a human being, was you was wrong. Cold-hearted.
Listen, I just want people to also know there is only 18 months in between us. So
you act like it's 18 years though.
It's real. Even then, it was. And I don't need permission to be who I am and do what I do. I destroyed it. I owned it. She earned it. And we have had much better summers since.
I love it. She don't need permission. Do what she do and be who she is.
I don't need permission to love her, and I don't need permission to destroy her holiday dreams.
Sir, ma'am, excuse me, but that was not Lord.
I tried to give great gifts. I did not tell my nephew that he had 2, 3 women for Santa Claus. But he knows that, right? He understands the magic and the sacrifices now. So look, have a good conversation. My device is dying. I'm gonna see if I can find one more bulb to go on my Charlie Brown tree. And I've defended myself. The jury came in. Sounds like I'm in sibling prison for doing it. But I imagine that everybody has some story that your sibling would say you were dead ass wrong for too. So own it.
Thank you for joining us and defending yourself.
Yes, we definitely will have to have you back on.
Yes.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye. Love you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank y'all for being on my side that she was wrong. Thank you. I was a baby. I was a baby.
You were a baby.
And yeah, things wasn't the same after that, because I remember we got a Nickelodeon double dare thing that had the like you can put all kind of like water and slime and stuff. My mama never did do that, because you already know, guess what, we ain't finna put nothing on your hair that don't supposed to be on your hair, right, and stuff. But it was just like, I remember that. And then when I walked in that living room Christmas one, I seen this, like, God, it ain't no Santa Claus for real. Like, you so happy, but you just so distraught. Like, man,
like, not one of these gifts did I not already.
Yes, Yetta, she's sitting up there saying she's got a 10-speed bike. DJ got a BMX, but was on my bike all the time. Can't remember what my sister got, and yet she should have told you, only because it's always funny to hear how it went down. See?
It makes for a good story.
Well, let me tell you, Yetta and my sister, they was like the for real hardcore mamas of the group. Like, they'll beat you. And they did you dirty or whatever like that. And it was just like, I still remember them. That's like, you're scared of the dog. Yeah, ain't no reason to be scared of the dog. And they got not the lights. They got a ring. They got a cross on them. It's like, all you got to do is just pray to God. Like, I'm scared. Like, they was like so hardcore. Like, they was never scared of anything. Like nothing. And even if they was gonna front to everybody else, like, nah, y'all finna get this.
And Quinn was absolutely not afraid to tell you about Santa Claus.
She was scared to get them keys. My mom could have came out there and killed both of us.
Exactly. So me and my brother are 13 years apart. So we moved 13 months, but 13 years. I did not tell him. He did believe in Santa Claus when he was younger. Now, maybe I just don't remember because I was so much younger. But he did believe it. I did the right thing, guys, and I did not tell him. I kept it to Christmas and Santa Claus.
That's
what did Santa bring you? You know, he liked the whole thing. They made cookies, put them out. I didn't tell. So I'm definitely on the side that Quinn was dead wrong. And I might have believed him and went with her on the, I just wanted her to know what's what. I don't want nobody to tell her. But when she said she slammed it down, oh, that seemed pretty premeditated to me.
Trust me, she definitely knew. She definitely knew, like, oh yeah, I gotta tell her. Like, she was waiting for her moment. So I guess when like mama went in there and took their shot, I was like, this is my time. Marlena, come on. What you doing with them keys? Come on, let's go. What? Mama gonna kill us both? Like, she already knew. She probably had 3-4 dreams. She had already rehearsed it, like however it was gonna go. Like, she already had knew. So I gotta.
This is what I'm going to say.
Did you have to tell me? Did you have to tell me right then and there? No, absolutely not. But what she said, that's just Santa Claus right down. Boom.
Renee said my parents told us Santa was not real. Mondo's a beauty. My mom always told us that she was Santa Claus, so I just made sure to give her my list. I know that's right. Let me tell you, because I know, again, I don't remember if I ever believed in Santa Claus, but I know for sure my mama was fine. So here's the list. I used to love getting the little paper that had like the Toys R Us books. Circle, circle, circle. You know, you had to throw it all out there. Something's gonna stick. Something's gonna stick. I know I'm not getting everything, but something's gonna stick.
Oh my goodness.
Now I will say, I can't. I definitely still stick to getting my phone is the best Christmas to date. But my mom did treasure hunts.
Oh, okay.
Christmas, and so she wouldn't do them every year, but I did a couple when I was younger, a couple when Jonathan was younger. Again, we 13 years apart, so that's why it went like that. And she also did one last year. And I'm telling y'all, I was definitely a Grinch. And she kept saying, well, I'm not gonna do one for you. I'm gonna do just one for Jonathan. And at first I was like, that's fine. And I was like, I mean, I could read some notes. So she did one last year, and it turned out being hilarious, and it was fun. So now, from being a little girl, like 10, adolescent, to being 40 years old. I kept saying, I'm 40 years old. I'm not about to do no treasure hunt. And then somebody was like, no, let me tell you what happened. So we had this debate about me having a treasure hunt. I'm like, I don't care if I have a treasure hunt or not. And why we sit down and it was a movie. And I want to
Oh,
say it was the Kelly Rowland movie. Can't remember the name of it, but in the next, and she's like in this trilogy Christmas series or whatever. And
yeah.
in it, they did a treasure hunt. And my mom was sitting there like, and I was like, I was burnt up. Turn my head. I did not turn my
She's
head.
just staring
I was like,
a hole in your head and to say, see that Hollywood even knows this.
girl, I do not. I'm 40. I don't need a. But anyway, it was fun. It was memorable. I will probably never do one again. Not a treasure hunt for my kids. I was like, you can do that when I have children. I don't really want one again. If she does, I will still participate because it's still Christmas at heart. I mean, child at heart. But yeah, Fernette says she told her daughter that Santa is make believe, but we can be Santa for others. Oh, that's sweet. I know
But
that's right. She also said Santa ain't getting no credit. I know that's right.
look, Miss Q said my mischievous self told my brother, big mistake. See there? He's goofy doofy self told my mom, and she took everything back to the store. So on Christmas morning, we had all different gifts. See,
Oh, I love it. So
see,
question, did that make you think, Miss Q, that Santa was real? Or did you just think your mom was like, I got one for you? Because I think that, like the story you told the young men that you were with, like, oh, but if you believe, you'll get everything. I bet in
mm.
his mind he was like, it might be something to this, because I didn't get everything I want, but y'all getting everything and more.
Right.
Dang, I really do believe
But
that's
I just personally believe like it's up to the individual whether you tell your child it's a
yes,
Santa or not, or if you feel like at whatever age they need to know. But also tell them, don't tell other people, don't tell
yeah.
other children, because you don't know what their whole situation and everything may
Oh,
or may not be.
Miss Q gave us an update. She said she knew then she really meant what she said. I know that's right. That
That
she
she was
was Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
That means I'm Santa Claus, and you're not about to tell nobody else what they have because you know what you have.
Be
Surprise!
happy. You know what? Your mama probably was in there. I'm taking it back, and it probably wasn't there. But the love that she has for you all, and she didn't want to hear all that mess come Christmas morning, because she probably took the stuff back with the intent, I'm getting my money back. They can wake up Christmas morning, it ain't nothing. Like I'm going
Like
full
Christmas is
throttle gangster.
blessed.
Yes, and for that is true. Kids aren't going to tell each other, but still, if you kind of put that disclaimer, like don't tell other kids and stuff like that, because sometimes they may not know.
Yeah,
And
I do agree with that. Like, don't mess it up. Like, people, they really find joy in it. Children really find joy in it. And why crush it? Why crush it? I understand like the sibling thing. Like Miss Q said, it was 11 months apart. So I understand that sibling thing. Like, no, I'm about to tell you what's what. But when it comes to telling other people, just don't tell nobody. Like, let them enjoy it. Now, I do remember believing in the tooth fairy.
oh yeah, my
I
my
remember believing in the tooth fairy.
my my son, I remember like his last few teeth or whatever, and then he had put them in a Ziploc bag. And it took like a week for us to get it, because the one I kept going to sleep and I was forgetting. That was number one. And one night Corey had the bag in his hand like this. He kept it tight all night. I couldn't get it out of there. And he kept telling my mama, I'm going to catch a tooth fairy. I'm going to catch her. And mama said, well, what about if she big and black? What you going to do? He said, I'm going to be uncaught her. And mama was like, okay. And I was just like, what we gonna do? And then one night the bag had fell back behind the bed. I couldn't get it and stuff like that. Like it took a whole
Dang.
week.
Like,
And
you
we were
know
just
your
like,
tooth fairy black.
Corey, just put
Too
the
late.
Ziploc bag inside the pillow. inside the pillowcase. And then
Uh-huh.
so I could slide my hand in there to get it. And it was just like, and then come to find out, ain't nobody had no money. So he had all kind of change and stuff.
Story to
Child, them last a
finish.
few little
She
teeth,
late,
honey.
late. That is
Woo!
hilarious. So we forget your little money for your teeth.
And it was just some change. I was like, Mama, you got $1 or two? Ain't nobody had no dollar or nothing. I think my mom had $2. She said that two ain't worth no $20. She was like, maybe two. But no, we ain't believe in getting big money. And it was just like, you got some change? Say, yeah, I got some change. But he was so happy with the change and stuff like that. But he was very, I'm going to catch a tooth fairy. I'm going to catch her. But I don't know how in the world he could just sleep with his hand balled up the whole night. I mean, fist tight. I couldn't get that thing out of there. I was just like, Because 2 nights went to sleep and said, the tooth fairy ain't come. Why they ain't come? It's just like,
well, Mo knows beauty. Man, being the tooth fairy is so hard. My kids are always waiting at least a week because once I'm knocked out, it's a wrap.
That is true.
But so there was some make believe there. So I think I just didn't believe in Santa Claus for whatever reason. I didn't believe in it, but I distinctly remember believing in the tooth fairy. Interesting to know.
For Nancy, I remember putting the tooth under my pillow and got nothing. That's when I knew the tooth fairy was
You
lying.
didn't tell your parents.
They probably went to sleep and you had to put it up under there. Sometimes they take a week for the tooth fairy to come. But
the tooth fairy, sometimes the tooth fairy go on strike. Sometimes the tooth fairy is just busy, so just keep doing it. That's what you have to tell the kids. Just she coming.
Right.
Renee, I'm sorry the tooth fairy didn't show up for you. But you have to keep trying. That's what you got to do.
I know. I'm sorry I didn't pass on this information. I was just how disappointed. I wanted some money. Look, don't we all? Shoot,
I wish I could put somebody else's tooth under my pillow right now. I don't plan to lose any more teeth.
I don't want to lose on either.
I've lost that were on purpose were my wisdom teeth. I don't lose any more teeth, so maybe my puppy, maybe her teeth supposed to fall out. I put them under my pillow, see what happens. Is there a tooth fairy for puppies, for dogs, for pets? Child, a little money in this economy would go great.
I know that's right. Gas card, a Kroger card, Walmart gift card, anything.
Put it in my Cash App.
That's it.
2022. Question: is that a sufficient way to give children money? You know how like a lot of kids have phones these days, like younger children. Mm-hmm. Do you think the tooth fairy could send a Cash App?
Probably could, but I think it's just the whole thing about waking up and then you find money up under your
yeah.
But these kids these days, they are different breed. They probably just happy. They probably get up and grab their phone first before anything else. So they looking at notifications.
Listen, you said these kids this day. My friend was telling me her son for his birthday dinner, he wanted to go have some crab legs. Her son is 13. I am 41. I love crab legs. So I felt him very connected to him. But the fact that he said he wanted crab legs, honey, these are some new kids, is my point, honey.
Do they know how much a crab cluster costs?
Someone else is paying. Do you care? Children really have no idea of cost of anything. For real.
Absolutely not.
But, oh my God, no, when you talk to your sister again, just tell her thank you for joining us. That was hilarious. My cheeks are still hurting from last ago.
Yes, and speaking of Cash App, you can always support the podcast.
Hello.
I promise I use it to go to the dentist to keep all the teeth that I got right now. But we just trying to keep what we already have.
Hello.
I promise I will not misappropriate the church's money. Put on the 4th line. This is what it's for.
Or for us to do whatever that we want to do. Please.
Absolutely. But as we get ready to close this podcast out, this is our last podcast of 2022. We are appreciate all of the love and the support. And we're looking towards for 2023. We have some great, exciting shows lined up, great, exciting guests and stuff like that to come to talk to us so that we can try to get these lives, keeping them in order, getting them straight, getting them in order, and just, just information and stuff. And if anybody didn't catch last week, well, 2 weeks ago, episode Adulting 101, it's a great episode. To some of us, we have children that's in that age range and stuff. I let my cousin, she's 21, look at it, and she appreciated it and stuff. So get these young people on it.
Like, we are 40. What, I'm 41. I'll be 42 my next birthday. Oh, Renee, would you be 43 your next birthday?
44.
44. All right. Oh, I don't know why I didn't know that. But we talked about comparison, girl, from now and then what it was like when we were 22 and things we wish we would have known when we were 22, and how we can apply those things today. So yes, please like, share, subscribe, share the information. It was really good. We do appreciate everyone joining us today. But one thing we would love you to do is send us an email at the40spot@gmail.com, the40spot@gmail.com, or you can DM us. Let us know about your birthdays. Let us know about what's going on in your life, because we love to give shout outs all the time, because that's what we're about to do right now. So, who had a birthday this month? If you know anybody had a birthday, put it in the comments. I'm going to give you a shout out. I'm going to shout out one of my sorors, LaQuisha. She had a birthday. Happy birthday, girl. Her birthday's actually today. One of my good friends, Karina, she had a birthday. One of my line sisters, Ariel, happy birthday to you. Just my line sister, Hilda. Her birthday was on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So, y'all, Renee, you got any birthdays, announcements for today?
Yes, well, again, my sister, her birthday just passed. It was on the 9th. I have a cousin, Rufus. His birthday is coming up. As well, I have an uncle. He's celebrating his heavenly birthday on the 26th, and on the 27th, Rufus and my cousin Thump, they having their birthday. And one of my godsons, his birthday, Caden. No, is it Caden's birthday?
Well, he's still
no. It might be Butter. Because one on birthday is like right after Christmas, then the other one is like right after her birthday. Mm-hmm. So it's Caden's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, his brother, one of the two, their birthdays is coming up. And also I want to shout out to the newest member of our family, my cousin Tara. Her daughter Crystal had her baby this past week, a baby boy. She's being like Rihanna. She ain't showed no pictures or nothing, but we ain't go talk too bad about her. But
aunties and cousins.
Yes.
Mono's Beauty said happy birthday to Suze and Lucinda. They are December babies. Happy birthday, y'all.
Yes. So, and also continue to follow us because we're still doing our 25 days of Christmas, where we're highlighting Black businesses, small Black businesses, giving different gift ideas and stuff like that. So we still have some more before we get to Christmas and everything. But if not, you can always go back onto our pages, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and see all of the businesses and stuff that we have highlighted thus far. And we have links and stuff that you can go to their page so that you can try to order stuff. I can't guarantee anything will be there before a week from now, but guess what? You can still get it. And just an introduction. It's a lot of different stuff that we have on there.
And there's some things you could purchase that's immediate, that you may get a gift certificate for or something like that. And people understand now's the time. Amazon is piled up. Man, I get stuff on time. So go check it out and support these businesses. One other thing is that, so like Renee said, we'll be back January 8th. So join us. We'll be talking about new year, new house. We'll have a guest on. Who's coming on, Renee?
Nateria Johnson. She is a realtor from South Carolina. She's going to be talking about getting your credit together, buying a home, buying commercial property, flipping home. So a lot of people wants to be able to get into that. And then 2 weeks after that, we have another guy. He's vegan / vegetarian, but everybody want to do weight loss, but he's just talking about healthy living and still being able to give up meat and still be able to build muscle without having the meat protein. So we're very, very excited for him. That'll be Evan Johnson. Neither one of them is related, but
that'll be on January.
Yeah, look, them your cousins, Myochi. Right. So yeah, so that'll be part of the lineup. Also, I definitely want to give a shout out to Omar and Rashida. They tapped in again from the island of Bonaire in the Caribbean. Girl, we international. We
Hello.
We getting on out there. We
thank everybody for joining us today. We had a number of people join us today. It was a fun conversation. Listen, we definitely have to bring your sister back because she is hilarious, just like you. Oh my gosh. But as Renee said before, please follow us on all platforms at the 40 Spot, the 40 Spot, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Am I missing something? I said Instagram.
Yes, and wherever you get your podcast as well.
Yes, absolutely. But until we see you guys in 2023, remember, if it costs you your peace, it is too expensive. Y'all have a wonderful holiday. And even if it's not the best, honey, just find joy in it somewhere. Peace.
Absolutely.
See y'all later. Bye.
Bye.